tell me what you thought about this one on Amazon Prime. Totally killer.
Totally killer. A pretty interesting mashup of genres because it is a movie about a serial killer coming to kill a bunch of teenagers around prom time, but it is also a time travel movie because this movie features Kiernan Shipka's character traveling back to when her mom was 17 years old and her friends were all terrorized by the Sweet 16 killer. It's kind of got a couple things going on at once. It feels kind of very like a Happy Death Day core or something
Thank
like
you.
that.
Yeah, we're fans of that.
We are. And, I don't know if it's necessarily quite that level of like blending of genres and making it fun, but also leaning into the tropes of horror. But it gets pretty close and it's pretty entertaining. I didn't have a bad time with this one. Shipka is really fun in the lead role, kind of balancing the whole like urgency of the situation with trying to explain it. There's a bunch of fun other actors that I like in this film. What's her name? Liana Liberato, who
surprisingly with a much like a side character. We've been rooting for her to be in a lot more like feature films as a lead. Mm-hmm. But I guess we'll take what we could get.
Exactly, right. But I think it's got a fun like sense of place. It's a fun sense of humor. It's pretty entertaining, and it's not like it doesn't skimp out, I think, on the story. So I think it's a good streaming release. Like to me, this is like the upper tier of that kind of like straight to Amazon Prime kind of deal that you get.
I agree. There's moments in there with the time travel that it kind of comes off a little corny, but I think a lot of the comedy that what's her name? I always call her Sabrina Teenage Witch. Tiernan brings into it. Like there'll be these little like goofy walks that she does that are super awkward, but she makes it work. Especially because it's got that Back to the Future bit where it's like she's hanging out with her mom a lot, but the mom doesn't know that that's her daughter. Obviously, she thinks she's like a psychic. I think the killer story is pretty interesting for what they bring into play with it because it's like there's podcasters involved. There's also like a lot of grudges because of people who grew up in this small town.